Today we're removing the stereo from a Mazda 6. With our pry tool we're going to start at the center console for the panel that has the cup holder on it and start at the corner and work our way around the entire panel. This will release all the clips. Set the parking brake. This will help allow clearance when we go to remove the panel, and pull this panel up. In some cases this panel gets stuck on the way up, and what is happening here is there's a shield that houses the cover for the drink holders and the dash, and it's getting stuck behind the edge of the dash panel where the three clips down the side release. So with our pry bar we're going to go in the side of the panel and push that shield towards the center of the car so it'll release up past the edge of the center console and up over the parking brake. And at the right side of the dash at the end we're going to pry this small panel up and release the clips. Now all these clips also release with pressure, and we're going to work our way across this panel towards the car stereo, down the edges of the center console, and to release all these clips. And we're going to pull this panel back and set it to the side. Move to the left side of the car stereo to the right of the steering column, and we're going to pry this small panel from the dash and work our way down along the side of the center console till all the clips release. Pull this panel back from the dash and set that to the side. Now if you haven't shifted to a lower gear, do so now. We're going to pry the panel up from around the gear shift, and we're going to work our way around all four corners, releasing all the clips, and pull this panel up over the gear shift and put that to the side. Next we're going to start up by the left side of the AC control panel, and we're going to pry this silver panel from the dash, releasing all of the clips, working down the left side across the back of the panel, and finally up the right side and having all the clips release. Now we're going to lift this panel up and pull it over the gear shift. There are several connectors to the back of the panel at the cubby hole here, and we're going to push the trigger down in the center of the first connector and pull this to release it. In some cases when removing this connector, the housing that's on the back of the panel will pull off of its mount, and looking closely at it you can slide it back on and click it back into place. At the left side of the AC controls are two mounting screws, and we're going to remove those screws and move over to the right side of the AC controls. With the two screws removed on the right side of the panel, we can pull this forward from the dash and access the two main connectors here. On the first connector we're going to push the trigger down and release it, and do the same for the second connector as well. Now all the connectors in here are keyed, so they only go back to one spot and you don't have to label them. Now we're going to set this panel to the side. With our pry bar we're going to move back up to the top of the dash above the car stereo and pry the front edge corner of this AC from the dash and release the clips all across the front, up the left side, and up the right side. You can also reach back at the back of the panel and pull it towards the back of the car, and this will help release the clips. With all the clips released, we're going to pull this panel forward and lift it up. We're going to check to make sure all the white pins are still on the clips here, and if they're not, look back towards the openings for where these clips are. Usually they may get stuck in that position, and you can remove them and put them back on. There are four mounting screws for the car stereo, one on the bottom right and one on the bottom left. Then we'll move up to the top and remove the one screw on the top left, the second screw on the top right, and then grasp the edge of the radio and pull it from the dash. We're going to turn it on its side here so we can get access to the connectors. And the first connector here has a trigger at the center of it. We're going to squeeze that trigger in and remove that connector. The antenna here has a trigger that's on the side of this connector, and you squeeze it into the connector and it will release. The main connector also has one trigger, squeeze and release. This is how you remove the stereo from a Mazda 6. Hope this video has been helpful. Please subscribe. Thank you for watching.